Hey there, Chef D Malfi here, and welcome to Plant-Based Made Easy. Today I'm going to be making with you a really satisfying snack recipe. This is peas and avocado toast. It's going to be really delicious, and if you want this recipe, I encourage you to check out my newest cookbook, Plant-Based Made Easy Cookbook, issue number 10. You can purchase my cookbooks one of two ways, just either as an individual cookbook, it's a digital download. I just print out the copy because I make a little booklet for myself, and I encourage you to do that as well. Or if you want all of the cookbooks for a 20% discount, you can actually become a cookbook member and get a new cookbook delivered right to your inbox every single month. So I'm going to be making this wonderful snack recipe. And this was seriously one of my favorite recipes out of this cookbook because it's so satisfying. It's simple, it's quick, it's easy, and it's super satiating. So let's get right into it. And if you have any questions along the way, type them in the comment box and I'd love to engage with you. You can ask anything, you guys, about plant-based eating or living, truly anything. It doesn't really even matter. I love to just hear from you and hear how you're doing, where you are in the world, how you're doing with your diet, your new lifestyle transition, either in this plant-based lifestyle fully or partially. I just want to hear from you. I'd love to engage with people that watch. All right, so let's get into this recipe. So I'm going to do a split screen so you can see actually what I'm doing. And I'm going to introduce the ingredients first. So first things first, I actually am going to use a delicious fresh baked bread. Now this recipe is so good, you guys. And this recipe is one of the staple recipes within this cookbook. Now within this cookbook, it's a month-long resource and it's going to give you recipes like breakfasts, lunches, dinners, snacks, sweet recipes, and even staple recipes. So what are staples? They're things like bread and milk and yogurt and cheese. I want to show you that plant-based eating, especially even the staple recipes, things that you're going to use again and again and again, they're just as simple as regular plant-based cooking. So people sometimes think, oh, you can't make plant-based yogurt that easily, or plant-based cheese, or plant-based bread. I've done the research for you, and I have developed these recipes to make it super streamlined. So take a look at this delicious loaf of bread. Now I make a whole wheat loaf. This is all from whole wheat bread, whole wheat flour. And if you want to experiment with different gluten-free flours, the choice is yours. But the recipe contains whole wheat flour, a little bit of yeast, a tiny bit of sugar, some warm water, and a little bit of olive oil. All right. So it's not necessarily whole food plant-based because it does contain salt, oil, and a little bit of sugar. But you can modify this recipe and you can take this, call it like the base recipe, and you can make it work for you. Now, any of the recipes in this cookbook, you can do that for. But I'm going to tell you, if you make it just like this, it's going to come out perfect. And I absolutely love this whole wheat loaf. I just top it with some black sesame seeds because it's so delicious. But we're going to use this as the base of our pea avocado toast because it's so good. So I'm going to place this aside. Let's see, I'll put it on some foil just so you can Google over this loaf of bread while we cook. All right, so I want to say hello. Hi, Natalie. Good to have you back, lady. Hi, Sisette. All right, so now let me introduce the rest of the ingredients. We need some frozen peas, which I'm going to use today. We also need some vegan butter. I'm going to use plant-based butter. This is Miyoko's butter. It comes straight from Trader Joe's or Whole Foods. It looks like regular butter. It acts like regular butter, meaning it bubbles, it browns, you can bake with it. I want to show you what the box looks like. I always keep a little box down here. This is Miyoko's butter here. You can get this at Costco now, I do believe. And Miyoko's is the brand. Chef Miyoko's is wonderful. She actually comes from Sonoma County, and they also have a line of cheeses as well. So check that out if you're interested. I love this butter. It's my absolute favorite. All right, I'm also going to use a little bit of avocado, of course, because it's avocado toast. Got to have some avocado, and then some pepitas or pumpkin seeds, which I really, really like. This is going to give you a ton of fiber, a lot of micronutrients, and then some chili oil if you want. I have some chili onion crunch here from Trader Joe's, which I really love. All right, so let's get into it. Now I'm going to do a full screen of my cooktop so that you can just really follow along. And if you have questions, I'm still with you, so I can see you. Yes. All right. I love to hear Carl Parrish says, I love that butter. I know it's so good. Right, Carl? And then Natalie says, our absolute favorite brand. We have the whole line in our fridge. I know it's so good. They have a cheese wheel. They have a soft cheese. They have a cream cheese. So good. All right. So I'm going to heat up my nonstick ceramic skillet here. And if you want access to any of the amazing tools that I'm using here in my kitchen, like my cosmic knives or my induction, one-top induction, or my cookware, anything that you see, I have in my Amazon storefront. So I'll pop a link to that at the end of the show. And I'm just going to get this nice and hot, and then I'm going to throw my butter right in, just a few tablespoons or so. Ooh, Carl says he makes cheese enchiladas with their cheese, the Miyoko's cheese, and it comes out well. That's awesome. I love that. Yes, Millie, all of her products are lactose free. And I'm so glad that you asked that question because I want to say something about it. Do you see this, Millie? So just recently, Miyoko's, the brand, had went through the certification process to have the word butter be able to be used on this vegan product. You see that V? That's a designation that this is vegan. And this was a really big deal, getting butter actually printed on the box. A lot of people didn't want this, but of course there were vegan advocates and plant-based advocates from all over the world that were in support of this. And so she finally was able to take her brand to court to get them to agree to let her to use the word butter. So I just want to say shout out to the Miyoko's brand for going through that. That is amazing. I that is like such a win-win, a beautiful win for the vegan and plant-based community. I absolutely love it. Thank you for asking. Yes, Millie. So all of her products are lactose-free. It's all plant-based. All right, I'm coming back to the overhead. Now you can see, I told you this butter acts like regular butter. Look, you guys, it browns like regular butter. It bubbles like regular butter. It's really, really great. And I just really wanted you to see that because some people don't trust or believe, like, I'll make a claim that a vegan product is better than the animal equivalent. And sometimes people don't believe it, but you have to see it to believe it, I think, right? So look, it's all nice and bubbly and brown. I kind of want to let this butter get a little bit brown before I add my frozen peas. So I'm going to add frozen peas straight from the freezer, about a cup or so. Place them right down, totally frozen. You do not have to thaw them. And then use your nonstick spatula to kind of just let them cook up. And I'm going to bathe them, coat them in this butter. To be honest, I think I used a little bit too much butter, but that's okay. I mean, can you go wrong with a little bit too much? It's vegan after all. No, it's okay. Totally fine. I'm just going to end up probably pulling the peas out of any leftover residual butter. But I think that this is really going to be delicious no matter what. So all the butter is going to absorb into the frozen peas, and you really do want them to be frozen right out of the freezer, because when you add cold peas to a hot pan, what's going to happen is it's going to slurp up anything that it is cooking in. All right. So in this case, it's really going to have, butter infused inside of every pea. It's going to be really nice. So I'm just cooking that up. Now, as this gets nice and soft, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my spatula, and this is heat resistant. All right. And I'm going to actually just start to pop the peas or crush them little by little. And what I want is to smash the peas. Okay. So this is a pea and avocado toast after all, but we don't want whole peas on it. We want kind of smashed up pieces. Oops. Try to get them to stay in the pan. And you're just going to do this with a heat-resistant spatula. This is very important. Now, what is that? It's usually a spatula that can cook up to 500 degrees or higher, sometimes 525. I've also seen some that are about 450. So check the spatula itself, or check the description when you purchase it. And it should say heat proof or heat resistant, meaning you can get it to a very high temp and it will not melt, it won't crack. All of that is really important. I'm gonna move my cookbooks, it's getting butter splattered. That's okay. All right, and what I'm gonna do is just really kind of make sure that this is smashed up as much as I want. I'm gonna have some whole pieces, but for the most part, it's going to be, you're going to tell that this is kind of a smashed situation. All right, I'm going to turn off the heat because I think this is a beautiful state we're in right now. And I'm just going to let this sit and come off the heat a little bit so it's not like super scalding butter. You can see we have our smashed peas. Pretty yummy, right? I mean, this is delicious by itself. Come on. And you could use this for a lot of different things. You can actually top some grilled tofu with smashed peas. There's a lot of different things that you can use with this. You can put this on top of cheese if you wanted to, like a wheel of, I actually make a cheese right from my yogurt that's in my cookbook as one of the staple recipes. And I like to serve it sometimes with like sauteed small vegetables like this is perfect, or shallots or things like that, and just kind of coat the top of like a big round or scoop of cheese, and then use some crackers to scoop it up. It's really yummy. So this is wonderful. And you can see now the butter has been absorbed. It's looking really great. All right, so now let's build our toast. This is a very fast and simple recipe, like I said. So I want a piece of toast here. And I toasted this up in the toaster ahead of time because I wanted to make sure we could get that done. I also want some avocado. Now here's a Hass avocado. This is the avocado season here in California. And I have to say the best avocados have California in them, literally, like the CA, right? Think about it, avocado, all right? They come from California. I'm on the California Avocado Commission, so I love talking about California fruit. California avocados is my absolute favorite food of all time. Yes, it is a fruit, not a vegetable, and it is one of the most important superfoods that we have access to. So I love the avocado, and I actually have one opened up already. I'm gonna show you that I store my avocado pieces inside of a stasher bag. So this is a stasher bag, and this is in my Amazon store as well. These are sustainable, reusable bags, and they're also really cool because you can cook in them. You can actually boil or sous vide or steam vegetables right inside the bag. So they're not only for the storage, they're for the cooking as well. And it keeps your avocados very fresh. So I'm just gonna pull this out. This avocado has been sitting in here for 3 days, and look, it doesn't look a day over one, like, right? This is what a regular avocado would look like after 1 day in a Ziploc bag or plastic wrap. But with the stasher bag, it really does extend the life. So I'm just gonna scoop some of this right out and place it down on my toast. And then I'm gonna grab a fork for this. We definitely need a fork to mash this up. So grab your fork, and you really need to make sure that you're using a soft avocado. Don't try to use an avocado that's underripe. Treat yourself. Make sure that it is super ripe and ready to go. I realize I'm going to do this on the cutting board, and then I will add it to my plate because I don't want my plate to get dirty. I want a beautiful plate. And I like to just really make sure it's nice and mashed. And then what I'll do is I'll add a little bit of the pumpkin seeds here, and I'm going to show you in the overhead. I store these in a glass jar, and they're really great. I like mine raw, but you can toast them. Some people do like a partial toast, so they'll just like a quick dry toast in a dry pan, but I really like them raw. You're going to get a lot of the nutrients still intact when they're raw like this. And then, of course, I want my peas. Grab your peas, and I'll do a line of peas right down the center. Now, because we've cooked these peas in butter, we don't need additional salt or pepper. It's totally optional. You can add some more if you want, but I don't need it. It's going to be really perfectly seasoned. Perfect. And then some chili oil to finish. Hi, Cindy. Some chili oil. Now, I'm going to use chili onion crunch. This is from Trader Joe's. You guys, have you seen this? You can get any version of this, I think, at Asian supermarket, or usually in the, like, what do they call it? The global ethnic aisle. I mean, that is, I don't like that name, but they often have like a chili oil or something like that next to the Asian foods in any market. So check for that. And really, this is optional. This is just for color. Obviously, a little bit of crunch as well. So good. It's so good. And this is gorgeous. It looks like springtime on a plate. A little chili oil on my finger. Pardon me. Let me clear my decks here just to make sure this is good. Okay, you guys, right for you. I'm going to do a full screen because I want you to take this in. Look at this. This is an pea avocado toast, a little chili oil on top. Oh, this looks so good. I don't feel like this camera is doing it justice right now. This looks really beautiful. I mean, if this was at a restaurant, I would totally get it for sure. All right, I'm going to give this a taste because I have to, because it's just so gorgeous. I'm going to do a side view. Look at that. You can see the black sesames. Oh, you could also add black sesames to the top. Why not? I have some black sesames here. I love black sesames because they're so beautiful. Some will just fall on the plate. Yum. Yeah, right? Now look at yum. Okay. I can't wait. Let me give this food a little gratitude. Thank you, food. Thank you, God. Here we go. Mmm. Mmm. Yum. So good. I mean, come on. You already know it's good. It looks good. Gosh, it tastes even better. This is amazing, you guys. Seriously, spring on a plate right here. I love how buttery these peas are. Excuse me. The avocado is nice and creamy. The toast is perfectly toasted, and it's awesome. It's got that sweetness from the whole wheat flour. And then I love the black sesames. It's adding just like a nice kind of savory, nutty quality. This recipe is amazing, you guys, and make it your own. If you decide to do this, maybe you swap out pepitas, pumpkin seeds, for, I don't know, slivered almonds or pine nuts. Any Italians here watching? Pinoles would be fantastic. You could actually use hemp seeds, chia seeds. And then if you wanted, instead of peas, try something else. You could do, like I said, shallots would be fantastic. Any other spring vegetables like ramps or anything really would be delicious. So check out this recipe, make it your own. And if you do make this recipe, post a picture inside of our Facebook group, Plant-Based Made Easy. You guys, we're on Facebook. We're almost 5,000 people and growing from all over the world. And we're a community of people that are plant-based eaters, either fully or partially, but we make plants a priority on our plate. And it's really wonderful to be connected with a group of people all over the world, not just here in California or in the United States, but truly in every country. So I'm really grateful for our community. Please join us. And then give me some love on Facebook, will you? At Chef D Malfi. I would love to see you on I meant to say Instagram, at Chef D Malfi. I'd love to see you on Instagram. I know some of you don't use Instagram, and that's okay. But if you do, I would love a like and a follow there. All right, you guys, I will be back for more recipes. I'm going to be taking a little vacation here. So I'm going to be off for a little bit of time, a couple of weeks. I may try to hop on if I can, but I am going to be taking a little bit of time off. And our next cookbook, I can't believe that it's already June, will be available this coming Monday. I'm super stoked. So May 31st will be our next cookbook release, cookbook issue number 11. Check out my newsletter to sign up to get information on that. If you haven't already signed up for my newsletter, I'll pop the link in the comment box. All right, you guys, have a good weekend. I'll see you next time. Peace.